The case of Dr Aafia Siddiqui remains a mystery. The US-educated PhD graduate went missing along with her 3 children 5 years ago while on her way to catch a domestic flight in her native Pakistan. Her whereabouts since then remains unknown, although her family and human rights activists believe she was held in the custody of either the US or Pakistani intelligence services as part of the war on terror.
We want to know what happened to Afia Siddiqui from 31st of March 2003 until 17th of July 2008.
The US has always denied that it held any female prisoners in its main Afghan holding facility in Bagram Air Base. However, suspicion was aroused when the former Guantanamo Bay detainee Muazzam Beg, who also spent a long spell in Bagram, said he heard the sound of a woman being abused on several occasions.
When I was in Bagram during the year of 2002, I used to hear the sounds of a woman screaming in the interrogation rooms where I was at, or adjacent to it, and I was led to believe that it was my own wife being tortured next door. The screams were intermittent, they were very sharp, they were high-pitched, they were evidently of a woman. She was frightened, she was terrified in fact.
A major turning point of the case came after the Pakistani political opposition leader Imran Khan and a group of human rights activists from the UK held a press conference outlining Dr Siddiqui's story and their suspicions. 1 month later, the US claimed to have arrested Afia Siddiqui in Afghanistan after she had apparently attempted to attack US military personnel. But the US government hasn't given any explanation for her absence of several years, other than accusing her of having links with Al-Qaeda. She now faces trial in New York, charged with the attempted murder of US personnel.
Well, at the moment, sadly, she's very ill. She's very ill to communicate with anybody, really. And she's had difficulty communicating with her lawyers due to the harsh, humiliating restrictions imposed by the jail authorities. And also, she's just not well enough. And she really, at this moment, she needs to be treated. Once she's recovered, and then she can deal with the legal process.
Further confusing matters, following inquiries, the US government has now backtracked on its previous statement that it had never held any female detainees at Bagram Air Base. It's now admitted to holding 1 female prisoner, but maintains it never held Dr Aafia Siddiqui. Nonetheless, the U-turn has raised more questions and doubts over the US government's account of Dr Siddiqui's arrest, and has given some credence to her claims of being held in Bagram for several years. Furthermore, her case has come to symbolize the plight of hundreds of Pakistani citizens who've gone missing over the years and are alleged to have been kidnapped by Pakistani and US intelligence agencies.
It is not only the case of Afia Siddiqui, it is the case of more than 500 missing persons. If the State Department could make a false denial about Afia Siddiqui, and if the President of Pakistan, Pervez Musharraf, in his book In the Line of Fire, admits that he has been selling the bodies of the Pakistani citizens to the FBI and US State Department, and despite that, we don't know the whereabouts of our Pakistanis. Sir, it's a very serious issue.
The previous government of Pakistani President Pervez Musharraf had been accused of kidnapping and handing over hundreds of its citizens to US intelligence agencies in return for financial and military support in the years following the invasion of Afghanistan. It's an allegation that President Musharraf himself denied, but human rights groups believe Dr Siddiqui's case represents just one of those hundreds of kidnappings.